Something quick before I start the video, guys. The thing I love the most are comments. I love them more than likes and more than favorites and more than subscribe. Actually, I love subscribe. But don't forget to leave your comments. See ya. Hey everyone, this is Verdult here, and today we have another battle from the LBA against Bryle, aka New Jersey Meganiums. And Bryle lost his first match, which is okay. It was against a good opponent, Sophie, aka forgot her name, her team's name. It had Sylveons in it. Anyways, something starts with a C. It doesn't matter. Anyways, as you can see from the team preview, actually I battled Bryle last season, and he's a really good player, in my opinion. And but he does like lower tier Pokemon, which there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. And some of them are really powerful, but some of them I feel that are underpowered, just like Musharna. But Golem is actually pretty great. But at the same time, the biggest threat to my team is the Espeon. As you can see, Espeon is faster than my entire team except for the Scolipede. And the biggest weakness on his team is that he has no hazard removals. So my plan is to set up hazards. But here's a team preview, or here's a preview from the last battle. He went for Ice Fang on my Gligar, and I managed to counter that and get rid of his Aerodactyl. Obviously our Pokemon were different. Here he goes for Ice Beam, and I switched in Scizor thinking that I was completely safe, except that he had Hidden Power Fire. So I'm just showing you guys the highlights from the last battle. And in the end he just had Sim Power left, as I had Staraptor with Choice Banded Brave Bird. Gligar was in the back actually, but it couldn't even touch the Sima Power. Anyways, so as you can see, he did not bring the Espeon, which I'm surprised because Tentacruel kind of was his team. But anyways, let's start this battle. Going in with the Elite Four music, because why the hell not? No one plays X and Y anymore, so I bet everyone misses this awesome track. I lead off with Vice City as he leads off with Noivern. I know he's gonna lead off with Noivern, and I knew that he had Taunt. My plan is to lead it off with the Suicide lead and just set up as much as I can, and because he has no hazard removal whatsoever, so I just want to abuse that. So I go for Spikes, as he will go for the Taunt next turn. He does go for Taunt, which is great on his part, because if I was Baton Pass, I can't even Baton Pass. So I decided to preserve the Sash. I don't want to break it just yet. I can still set up and save myself from any potential sweep, as I have Scizor on it. He goes for Air Slash, and Air Slash doesn't do much to Tentacruel, seeing how I am fully specially defensive. I go for Ice Beam. I don't want to overpredict. Maybe he will drop Draco or do something. Maybe he has a trick, Hidden Power Psychic, I don't know. So yeah, I just go for Ice Beam, playing it safe. I had this Snorlax coming in, and here I was like, should I stay in against Snorlax and try to get the burn? And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna switch. And thank God that I actually switched out. Because as you can see here, this Snorlax actually has block. And if you don't know what block does, it will just block you from escaping unless like Snorlax goes out. So if I was with my Tentacruel, he could have set up with Curse and Rest against me and just went to +6 without any bother, which would have been extremely scary. So thank God I went into Skarmory. Obviously he can't set up against Skarmory because Skarmories usually carry Roar, plus their defense is super high, so there's no point in him cursing all day. So here I switch into Tentacruel. I really don't need to overpredict or anything. Even if he goes for Draco or Air Slash, I'm still gonna kick that. Here I decide to go for Scald after I set up the rocks. So right now we have Spikes and rocks. The plan is going well. We need to put all the hazards. He has no Defogger and no Rapid Spinner, so I'm not a fan of Suicide leads honestly at all. Like, I really don't like Suicide leads. I feel like it's a waste. Sometimes it gives you momentum, but when someone has a Rapid Spinner, you just wasted a Pokemon. But honestly, he has no Rapid Spinner, no Defogger. The only thing is Magic Pounce Espeon, and he didn't even bring it. So I set up rocks and I set up Spike, one layer of Spike. As I go back again to my Dovahkiin, I go for Iron Head. I was honestly going for the flinch, which was kind of dickish on my part, because I figured he'd have Rest, and I do get the flinch, and I go for another Iron Head and take him out, which kind of sucks for him. Even though I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say Snorlax isn't useful or something. Could have done a lot of damage. Anyways, goes into his Keldeo because obviously special attacker and can wreck Skarmory. I decided to switch out and go into my Squishy Junior because obviously I can take both Surf and Secret Sword as they are both resisted. I figured he'd be Specs, but he shows that he's Life Orb, which he could have some kind of hidden power, Electric or something for my Tentacruel. I can still live that, so I decided to go for Sludge Bomb, but he actually goes for Calm Mind. And I was like, I really don't mind. As long as it didn't have recovery, I'm not scared. But then I remembered that I really need Tentacruel for Noivern because I have no switch-ins for Noivern. He goes for Secret Sword, and it does way too much damage after one Calm Mind. This is insane damage, especially when I'm Bold Nature. I'm not max defense, but I'm Bold Nature. So at this point I was like, Tentacruel, I really need you, and I need to switch you out. So it's time to bring in the Sash Scolipede. Because it's useless, it doesn't even have any attack besides X-Scissor, and his entire team resists X-Scissor. Go into my Scolipede as he goes for Secret Sword. Does nothing. I'm surprised it does less to Scolipede than Tentacruel. Oh, it's double resistant. Holy crap. Anyways, I decided to set up Toxic Spikes, which was a huge misplay. I was like, do I want another layer of Spike or Toxic Spikes? Then I was like, you know what? I want to have every entry has it. That would be nice. But he has the Guts Heracross, which is extremely scary. Plus, I can't burn Heracross at the switch with Scald, so Heracross is relatively a safe switch into my Tentacruel anyway. So he goes into his Golem, and luckily I go into my Tentacruel, meaning that I can kill him, and if he switches out I get more leftovers, which will help me live, Black Sludge, which will help me live the Draco Meteor from Noivern. Goes into his Heracross, and Heracross, like I said, gets the Guts boost. As I go for Scald, obviously there is no burn, but I get some awesome damage. With the poison, he's gonna start losing health more and more. I do have Banded Extreme Speed, but I think I should have brought Life Orb Extreme Speed just because he has Golem, and I really don't want to lock myself into something that Golem resists. So going to Skarmory, thinking that he wasn't Guts, but he's actually Guts, and he rips the shit out of me, and he gets a crit, which I'm not sure if it mattered or not, because Guts is just insanely scary. So here, unfortunately, Mega Latios can literally wreck his entire team outside of Noivern. But I am forced to go into it because it's the only thing that can resist close combat. And obviously Tentacruel resists that, but it's gonna die. I can go for Extreme Speed, but I don't want to go for Extreme Speed and then him going into Golem and then setting up and stuff. So I'm forced to go into Mega Latios. As he goes for close combat, and this does over half, which is ridiculous. Especially that Mega Latios gets some physical bulk. I go for Side Shock. I knew he was Scarfed, but I was really scared that I'd go for Command and then he bops me with the Mega Horn, and I'd be mispredicting. So he goes into his Noivern right now, and unfortunately I can't switch out because I have no safe switch-ins to Noivern. Tentacruel is such a low health. He goes for Dragon Pulse, takes me out. Unfortunately, I have T-Bolt for Azumarill. And Dragon Pulse would kill the Golem from the range that it's at. But here I'm really hoping that I don't flinch, because if I flinch and he kills my Tentacruel with 2 air slashes, he will probably win unless I make some insane predictions. But Tentacruel coming through, escaping that flinch, going for Ice Beam, taking down Noivern, and believe it or not, Ice Beam doesn't kill Noivern for full health, so the Stealth Rocks really help. And then he goes into his Azumarill, and you know he likes to run Assault Vest if I'm not mistaken, so I just decided to go for Sludge Bomb in case he was Belly Drum. Like, I don't want to risk it, I don't want to switch out and die. And go for Sludge Bomb, do around 50% out. This doesn't look Assault Vested, I don't know. He goes for Knockoff, take out my Squishy Jr. As I decide to go into Squishy Jr. did such a wonderful job. It's an amazing Pokemon, it's been helping me a lot. So I go into my Garchomp, my mascot, my amazing, fantastic Pokemon. I don't want to go into Arcanine and go for Extreme Speed, because like I said, he has Golem in the back. You may never know what happens. Maybe he'll Curse, or I don't know, Brock Polish, something. You just don't want to risk it. You want to keep the offensive pressure. Even if he goes for Aqua Jet with the Azumarill, it wouldn't have done much. So I just go for Earthquake, and Earthquake is enough to finish the Golem. And this will be GG. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you, Bryle, for the amazing game. Bryle always gives me the super awesome games. It's a 2-0, and I was really scared. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you next time.